So, hello friends. In this lecture, I will discuss the permanent magnet generator. So, we will discuss the introduction of permanent magnet generator, its construction, its characteristics, and its application. So, going forward, this part we will discuss. So, basically, what is permanent magnet generator? So, we know that it is a small size machine, and it has size smaller than the bound field generators. So permanent magnet generators are relatively smaller in size as we compare them with bound field generators. And the small size is because of the absence of large poles, shoes, and there is no field winding. So this is the reason why they are smaller in size as compared to field bound generators. These permanent magnet generators, they are used for various purpose for generation of electricity in a small scale, right? So the generated voltage and current is small. They are also used in number of applications like battery charger for automobiles. They are also used for battery chargers, small handheld mobile chargers for battery charging of mobile and that part. They are also used for some generators, some kind of permanent magnet generators. They are used for wind energy conversion system. So they are also generating a good amount of power. These generators are also applicable in number of large generators at generating station. Basically, they are used as a exciter. So when we talk about their efficiency, so the efficiency is higher. In case of permanent magnet generator, the efficiency is higher comparing to bound field generators. And this high efficiency is because there is no iron loss and there is no field copper loss. So these losses are not there. Because of this loss absence, efficiency is better. So, and one more thing is that these generators has field magnets which are kept on the rotor, and the armature windings are present on the stators. So whatever the field which is required is generated or created by permanent magnets in these generators, and there is no need of any carbon brush connection for fields, right? Already permanent magnets are there. So one more thing is that they have rotatory field and armature winding is stationary, and because of this arrangement, because of this construction, maintenance required maintenance is low, and they are also having no brush. So we can say they are brushless and maintenance free. Because of this, they have good life as compared to field mount or conventional alternators generators. So they have good life, better life. If we talk about the construction of permanent magnet generators, they are similar like any modern alternator. They have moving as well as stationary coils of wires. This moving coil is called rotor, and this uses current supplied through the silver rings to generate the moving field, and the power is taken from the stationary field coils, which we have discussed in previous slide. They are of two types. So classification can be of two types on the basis of their structure or basis of their construction. One is axial permanent magnet rotor type permanent magnet generators, another is permanent magnet rotor on end brackets. So this is the classification of this generator. If we talk about permanent magnet generator with axial rotor, you can see the diagram here. So they have the shaft as connected there. Commutator segments are also there. Field windings are available, and this armature windings are there. So armature conductors are there. Interpoles are present in between the two poles, and this frame structure is there, and pole shoes are there. So these are the permanent magnets as shown in the figure, and they have bearings, shaft, permanent magnet arrangement, bindings, iron cores, sensor housing, and all that part is there. That is construction part we have. So we can say that permanent magnet generators with axial rotor has permanent magnet on its circumference which are parallel to axis. So they are parallel to axis, that's why their name is like this. And armature coils are placed on the stator around the rotor, and the rotor of this machine is rotated with the help of prime mover, and the purpose of this is to rotate the magnetic field of permanent magnet on it. So this will rotate the magnetic field of the permanent magnet on it, and rotating field which is there, it cuts the stationary armature conductors on the stator, and as a result EMF is induced in the armature winding. So armature winding will have induced EMF. And if we talk about the working principle, it is similar to that of the single phase alternator. Only part is except this the frequency part is different, so frequency variation is different, otherwise the overall working is like that only. Whatever the power generated is by this generator, it is utilized for charging of the batteries, and after the rectification, because AC can be converted to DC with the help of rectifiers. And there are some power converters which are connected or which are utilized to ensure the power modification according to requirements. So with the help of power converters and transformers, power modification is done to achieve the required current and voltage level as per the requirement of our load. So these generators have different applications, like they are used in automobiles as we had discussed earlier. They are also used in handheld battery chargers, which we discussed. They are also used for exciters for large alternators, what we have discussed. They are used in wind turbines, as actually they are used in wind energy conversion system. And small and medium sized hydropower plants are also using these generators. So these are some applications. Now we go for another type, this permanent magnet generators with permanent magnet rotor on end brackets. So this is the construction, and if you see in the construction, they have two rotors, rear rotor and front rotor, and stator is in between these two rotors. Spin and shaft is connected there, and rectifier, what we are discussing earlier, the rectifier part is connected here, and this is the source of that has to be charged, right? So this battery can be charged with the help of this generator. So these have like earlier, they have permanent magnets on its end brackets, which we have shown you. So end brackets shown in previous slide, and the rotor has two, rear rotor and front rotor. So rotor part is divided in two parts, rear rotor and front rotor. They are tightly coupled to each other, and the magnets are there face to face in such a way that opposite polarity poles of the magnets faces each other. This is the required arrangement which is known to be done there. And stator has armature coils around the rotor, and the rotor is rotated with the help of prime mover, which we have discussed earlier. So but the purpose is that to produce to have a rotating magnetic field of permanent magnets, and that rotating field, it cuts the stationary armature conductors. As a result, the stator has an EMF. So induction of EMF occurs on the stator, and which is there in the armature windings. So the working of this generator is, you can say, similar to that of single phase generator, and this is used for charging batteries after the rectification, which we have discussed in this construction part. And this power which is being generated is modified according to the requirement to supply the load accordingly. So the power can be supplied to the load accordingly with the help of power modifiers. So modification of power is done with the help of power converters and transformers. So a required level of current and voltage is achieved to feed the load. So this is all about that, and construction, it's working. Now, if we talk about its application, so this permanent magnet generator has an application like it is utilized in standalone for purpose of standalone generation in wind energy conversion system, and this is also used for standalone generation for domestic purpose. So in this generator can be utilized for, basically the purpose is for generation of electrical energy. This can be utilized as a standalone generator for wind energy conversion system, as well as this can be used as a standalone generator for domestic purpose. So these are all there are some advantages. You can go for more advanced applications also. So this is all about this generator. So thank you, thanks a lot.